All right, Hammerjump. There's like a billion videos. Here's the deal. I'm not going to go all the way into detail about a whole bunch of them. We're going to talk about one very, very, very specific, simple thing, which is not everyone gets the same lineup, but depending on your setup, there are a couple ones that you can use consistently. So the first thing we're going to do is when we walk in, we're going to pick up the pot. Optimal movement is you walk along the edge of the pit because you move faster while holding a pot. If you're walking along the edge of the pit, don't worry about that too much. But you're gonna pick up the pot, walk up, and kill the mini Helma. From there, the goal is you kind of want to you need to learn a lineup. So you need to learn a lineup where as your sprite gets kind of like close to, all right, here we go. As its head gets close to the bottom of, I'm going to assume that we have like a sprite that's, I'm going to make the assumption that if you're playing in the Mentor tournament, you're probably not using like one of the really esoteric sprites. And by that, I mean like the bee or the fish or like the Microsoft Windows pointer, stuff like that. Like those make this not harder, but you probably know the lineup if you're using one of those. The first thing to be aware of is like you want to walk up until the head of your sprite, which if it's somewhat similar in size to like anything remotely similar to Link's height, when you get your head even with the bottom of the railing where you're trying to jump to, that's probably close-ish. And the reason I say that is because what we're going to be looking for is you want to find a lineup. So for me, the thing that I use, I'm going to actually bring myself down here a little bit. Hello. Is I use this. So you can see there's a little itty bitty black line. Okay, I just moved up a little bit. There we go. So you can see there's a little bitty black line directly above where it says DO, right? Where it is right now is the correct position. This is the hammer jump position. This is the vertical pixel that you want to be on. Right there. So the thing about that is not everyone uses the same setup because different people have like different visual cues. Some people like to use this. So you can see that this little section down here at the bottom, like you can see that the gray bar at the bottom of it is flat. There's like a U, and then there's like a vertical line, and then there's like a horizontal line. I've heard people call it like a frowny face, kind of. It looks like angry eyes. This right here also is an option, but some runners have different vertical scan on their sets, on their game output. So not everyone sees the top and bottom exactly the same. So just be aware that if you're going to use something that is based on the top or bottom of your screen, make sure that it's the right lineup. So you can see the vertical pixel that I'm on right now. If you can get on it once and then check, oh, now it's disappearing. That you need to do that to make sure that if you want to use that lineup, which you're allowed, make sure that you are very aware of what you're looking at. Hold on, put me back up there. So the other option that some people like to use is the select menu instead. So with select, there are a couple of different things that you can look at. What some people will look at is, again, you can see that there's like the little angry face below Link, like the same kind of thing. Sort of like down here, right? you can see how, again, there's like that little, it's flush against the top of the select menu. There's the horizontal line. So the thing is, once you've hit this, just set the bomb to the right. That's what we're going to do. Then the other thing is, I'm gonna show that this is the right lineup first, and then we're gonna go back and we're gonna do this again. So you can see, so those worked, right? Makes sense? So you can see that, like, there's a few different lineups, all of them worked. It depends on which one you're gonna use. So this is too high, right? You can see the lineup that I had before. Like, if you look on the very bottom of the screen, now there's not just the dark gray line on the very bottom of my screen below my pause menu. Now there's a little bit of like vertical space. And if I do the select menu, same thing. There's a little bit too much room. I'm 1 pixel off. So this is one of the hardest parts. The problem is that when you start moving up, you go 2 pixels. When you start moving down, you go 1. When you move diagonally, you go 1 in each direction. So why that matters is I'm 1 too low. Or sorry, 1 too low right now. I need to go 1 pixel up. But if I just tap up, even if I get the smallest movement I can, I'm going to go too far. So I have 2 choices. I can go up 2 and then down 1, or I can try and go diagonal 1. This is one of the biggest areas where newer runners will struggle, and even honestly, even experienced runners. Like, I'm just going to call him out most because he makes fun of himself. Gamachu will spend like a million years trying to set the lineup properly on here. And you'll see a lot of runners will basically just spam pause buffers until they hit, or until they just happen to walk on the right pixel. In this situation, your options are you can go up 2, down 1, or try and go diagonal. If you go too far, it's fine, but the key thing is getting yourself back in position, right? So I need to go 1 pixel up. So I'm going to try and do a diagonal up right here. And I went too far. I went 2 pixels. So you can see, like, if I do the select menu, now I'm too high, but now I need to go down 1. I went way too far. There we go. Nope, that's still it. All right. No, I'm still off. After griefing Gamachu about it, this is what I get. Nope. There we go. So it took forever. But the point is that, like, you need to learn how to kind of like maneuver yourself small amounts, but also aggressively use those pause buffers. Because that's the other thing is that, like, doing this and then that and that, like, that didn't take very much time, right? Like, you can see almost nothing went off. But if you're like standing there and then you do this and you get it wrong, and then you do that and you're still, like, you see how if I wait a really long time, the bridge keeps collapsing. You can't afford to wait. So the big thing here is even if you're not on it, just be really aggressive with your pause buffers. Because, like, the bridge has not even started collapsing yet, and I'm in the right spot. And then again, it's, so once you're in the right spot, we're not even going to get into throwing, there's a bunch of like 2 bomb strat, we're not getting into any of that. Once you're in a good spot, place the bomb to the right. Don't go too far. So like, this is fine. Here's fine. As long as the bomb isn't touching the right side of the pit, you're fine. So, like, that is probably, actually, let's find out. I think this is probably about as far right as it can be. Yeah, see, that was still fine. The biggest thing is just don't go too far. Don't have the bomb, like, hanging off the edge. So let's try and, like, intentionally get it over there. Okay. Oh, well. That was so far I knocked it off. Okay. It's like you can see that the bomb is touching the edge of the pit there. Even that still works. It's pretty forgiving. Just don't be too far to the right. And you saw, like, you've got a lot of room. So when you walk in, just be up on the left side here. Just walk straight up, throw the pot at the mini Helma. You have tons of room to place the bomb to the right. Just like tap to the right, drop the bomb. So now the big thing is, okay, so now what do? I use the pause menu, the start menu, and the shadow of the bomb. So you can see here, there are 3 rows of dark black pixels. If I go up 1, that's more than 1. You can see there's now a little bit of blue. This is 1 pixel too high. There's a teeny, teeny, tiny bit of blue, right? So that's too high. This is correct. This is too low. So you can see there's only 2 rows of dark black now. It's a lot thinner. So this is what I use. I'm not saying that this is what you have to use, but that's what I use. I feel like it's pretty simple to spot. This is correct. So if you're using select buffering, what's the one I've seen? I think people sometimes will use down at the, honestly, hold on. I don't even know. What do they use? Oh, I guess you can use the thing on the side, like on the side of the select menu. You can see how there's like the little, like kind of these things here, like this thin black line, kind of lines up with the line on the select menu. You can also learn to look at the floor. Once you've learned this, I think this part is a lot easier. Honestly, to me, the pause menu makes the most sense. The start menu, I mean. But, you know, if for whatever reason you don't like it, that's fine. Once the bomb explodes, hold up. Don't forget that part. Right, so like this is good. If I don't hold up, womp womp. Hold up. Don't start moving until after the explosion. Because if you do, you'll just walk right off, right? You'll walk out of the spot. So after the bomb explodes, wait for it. Hold up, right? So as soon as the bomb explodes, hold up, and you can drop a second bomb here, blow this open, you're all set. But the big thing is, again, so get your character. The reason why you kind of want to like start this stuff when you are kind of close is because if you're too far, you won't actually have like a good visual cue, right? If I'm too far away, like let's just say I do it like here, I'm you can see that there's stuff, but it's actually the wrong one. It's too low. Like I'm not even close. Like I'm nowhere near where I need to be to make this work. Like I need to be up. Yeah. So like you saw how far I had to move. Point being that it's like you want to ideally start this when you can see your cue kind of close by. And then once you can, again, it's go to the bomb, drop the bomb to the right, and you saw I was too high. So it's the same thing. Remember, if you're trying to move 1 pixel up, it has to be diagonal, or you have to go 2 up, 1 down, right? So I'm actually going to move off, right? So I'm 1 pixel too low. So there I moved up, and I moved 2. You can see now I'm 1 pixel too high. You can see that little bit of blue. So I have to go down. Oh, I went too far. But you have to be aware. That's the biggest thing. Why people, I think, sometimes mess this up is the movement there. So again, the easiest way to think about this is walk up, walk kind of to your spot, find your cue, get yourself so that the cue looks good. Drop the bomb to the right, get the second cue. I'm too high. Right? And go down. Be aggressive with your pauses. Pausing really, really frequently is going to take time, but you'll get better at it. Just pause a lot. Don't worry about taking too long. Like, get it down. And then once you're in the right spot, you can see that now I've got those 3 dark lines. Wait. Bomb explodes. Hold up. And you're good to go. It's the hammer jump.